Yes, Senator Recto, it's 5:25.
Yes, just one question, one issue, Mr. President.
Yes.
I heard over the radio that there are new requirements to get a driver's license. Is that correct?
Yes, we did some driver's license reforms to make it easier. So incentivize good behavior. Instead of we made it stricter. Professional driver's license. If it's a professional passenger safety, the set is referring to is may NBI clearance and police clearance.
Dapat naman talaga. Yung dati wala.
Apparently, Mr. President, it is correct.
Oh, the requirement for NBI clearance and police clearance are required now. I expected that to be required since before. It's important. And the requirements are stricter in that sense because for professional driver's license.
So only for professional driver's license.
Yes. But actually, I'm for stricter.
There are new requirements.
Police and NBI together for
What is
professional
the
driver's
difference
license.
of an NBI clearance and a police clearance?
NBI is a larger database.
The NBI has a larger database. I guess you go to the NBI, they have a different
So
database.
why do you need to get two clearances, Mr. President?
Because the NBI has a larger maybe the database of the police and the database of the police and the database of the NBI are not converged. So they're probably criminals
So
who have been
why should it
apprehended
be
by.
more difficult now for the ordinary man in the street who needs a professional driver's license? Ibig sabihin, he needs a professional driver's license to do his work. Hanap buhay to, trabaho to. That's why it's called a professional driver's license. Is that correct? Panghanap buhay, professional driver's license.
The grimmest scenario is you have a daughter being driven by a bicycle driver with a arrest warrant.
Because we are strict here because of many accidents and incidents where there are irresponsible drivers. It is better to err on the side of safety because there are certain crimes which are
No,
apprehended
I understand.
by the NBI, but sometimes local crimes sinusumbong sa police na hindi naman naka-earmark sa NBI.
Is it not possible for the PNP and the NBI
To converge their
not
database?
to provide, that's one, and to provide the LTO instead a negative list? Instead of the individual, pinahihirapan na naman natin,
They can
magbabayad ng fee
coordinate
na
if it's
naman.
possible. If it's
Maybe a
possible, they
negative
can
list.
coordinate.
That's right. No?
Drug test
Now,
ba is a requirement?
what is the makeup of the person? What is the income level of the person that needs a professional driver's license?
I'm sorry?
What is the makeup of a person who needs a professional driver's license? Ano yung level of income ng taong ito? I suppose you're talking about jeepney drivers, tricycle drivers,
Jeepney, tricycle, Uber driver.
right? How much is an NBI clearance?
100 pesos? 120 pesos?
120 pesos. How long does it take to get an NBI clearance?
Just one day.
So that's one whole day's work of income lost. Now, how much is
But it's not every year. It's once every 3 years.
how much is a police
Police clearance.
clearance?
Just 50 pesos.
And how long does it take to get a police clearance?
Just 1 hour if the police is efficient.
But apparently the LTO is inefficient as well. How long does it take for the LTO to issue a driver's license?
How long does it take you? If it's a new driver's license, it's 3 to 4 hours.
Are you sure?
If it's a renewal of a license, not more than 30 minutes. I will apply for a license tomorrow. And I will
What
line
is
up
the
and see.
backlog of the LTO insofar
What's
as
your
driver's
backlog?
licenses are concerned?
700,000 is the backlog.
So
of
how
the
could it
LTO.
be 30 minutes or 1 hour if you have a backlog of 700,000?
Yeah. 30 minutes is the processing of these licenses. And what is the backlog?
And then babalikan na naman niya after several months to get the driver's license.
The receipt, I think, Senator Recto, serves as the temporary driver's license. The backlog is in the
Yes.
issuance.
Yes,
of
but the point is this, Mr. President. Pabalik-balik na naman yung professional driver na yan. Kukuha siya, bibigyan siya ng resibo, babalikan niya. After a month, wala pa rin na naman. After a month, wala pa rin na naman. Ilang buwan na. Ngayon, dadagdagan na naman natin ng NBI clearance at police clearance. Why can't the LTO think of better ways? Why can't you just ask the NBI or the PNP, for example, a negative list, if at all you want this requirement? Para wala nang dagdag gastos, pahirap na yung tao, napakarami ng binabayaran. When did the LTO decide on this matter?
It's a new policy when, how long ago? Just last month, Mr.
Just
President.
last month.
But they will coordinate with both the police, the PNP, and the NBI if they could.
Why? But in the
Provide-
meantime, why don't they suspend it? Let them first coordinate.
Yeah.
Delayed na yung license plate, delayed na yung driver's license, pahihirapan na naman natin yung ordinaryong nagmamaneho, naghahanap buhay.
While I respect your opinions, Senator Recto, I also feel that to be strict with these matters is of utmost importance because we don't want to see rapists driving young girls or drug addicts or those who've convicted.
I don't think that getting an NBI clearance or a police clearance will stop that, Mr. President.
But,
what I'm saying is that if you're talking about rapists, how many people are we asking to get these licenses? How many people are we expecting? How much money do we expect government to make from this?
I think
Ilan ba? What is the universe? How many professional driver's license do you expect? How many persons do we expect?
1.5 million.
1.5 million. We are getting, what, 100 pesos from each of them for the NBI clearance. Dalawa yan. And then may PNP clearance. And then hindi siya makakatrabaho ng 2 araw. And then pipila siya sa LTO. I think we have to be sensitive on these matters.
Yes, yes.
Hindi porke naisip lang, and I don't think it has nothing to do with rapists. That is the point I'm trying to make here. Now, we already warned the LTO before as far as those driver's licenses are concerned. As far as the license plates are concerned, hindi nga kailangan palitan yung license plate, pinalitan. Dagdag gastos yan. Kung bago yung sasakyan, okay lang siguro. Pero yung renewal, bago pa naman, bakit i-renew? Ngayon may bago na naman. That is the point I'm trying to drive at. There are too many complaints with the LTO. So, if they're still coordinating with the NBI and the PNP, why don't they suspend this first and do that coordination and report back to Congress? Remember, we are the representatives of the people here as well. Hindi porke naisip lang ninyo, hindi naman na ipapaliwanag pa na mabuti.
I believe that consultations were conducted and no one had objected. In fact,
I doubt it if
they-
no one objected. Could
most
they
of the
submit all
attendees-
those documents here?
Yes.
with
Most of the
regard to-
attendees were transport group operators, and how long was your consultation? It was a nationwide consultation, so it was not a knee-jerk reaction to something. It was a nationwide consultation.
So there
on
was
this,
no opposition. Is that what the gentleman is saying?
As far as that particular 2 licenses issue is concerned, there was no opposition.
Why is it that on my way here this morning, there was many opposition in the radio?
I believe in it. The stricter, the better for me.
All right. Yeah.
But
Can I ask a question
but
on
to
that
each his
in
own
that relation?
Yes.
All right. There is a suggestion. Number one, that instead of requiring the applicants to go to these offices,
Yes.
why can there not be a negative
list.
to the LTO offices from the NBI and the police?
Pwede yun?
We will try, but initially they said they couldn't, but we will engage.
Oh, you tried to ask them, but they said they could not.
But we'll go back.
But you will
So
go back and ask them
why
again.
will we burden the motorists again? That's the point. That's the point.
The second question,
Yes.
what kind of information that you will be drawn from these clearances that you secure, which will deprive a person of a professional driver's license?
Correct.
Would a libel case deprive him of a driver's license because it's a pending case?
Well, it would depend on the information that will be gathered from the NBI. Depends on the crimes, assuming that person has a record in the NBI.
Madam Sponsor, the NBI as the repository would have a list of all criminal cases
Yes.
all over the country.
Yes.
Now, if your name appears there and you have a criminal case for libel, would that disqualify you?
I think it would be on crimes of moral turpitude than crimes pertaining to libel.
Well, libel is a crime, I think, which involves moral turpitude, if I recall my penal code correctly. Now, this is the reason why we're pointing this out is, again,
You're depriving.
it is an arbitrary listing. If you make an arbitrary listing, then it is an arbitrary determination that if you are facing this kind of a criminal case, you cannot drive. Worst, if the LTO will say all those facing criminal charges are not entitled to a professional driver's license.
So ilan yung mawawala ng trabaho naman dyan?
Kaya nga, that's why what are the standards that you use? What kind of information that will be made available to you that will disqualify one from having a
It was a
professional
previous
driver's
requirement.
license?
Either or. Yes, yes. Just a clarification, this is not a new requirement. It was a previous requirement to have either of the two. And it's
What
only
is
now
either of the...
either of the two offices to issue licenses.
No,
it
Madam
is-
Chair,
Yes.
it's not either of the two. It's a question of what kind of information in these clearances that would disqualify one from being issued a driver's license. Will any kind of a pending case which appears in the NBI list disqualify one from having a license? Ano ho ba yung mga krimen o mga kaso na dahilan sa pendency hindi na pwede magkaroon ng professional driver's license?
They say it is crimes against persons and property and moral turpitude. That's what they say. That is the basis for their non-issuance of driver's license.
Now, what
assuming,
about... Huh?
assuming,
Now, crimes like rape, as you have pointed out earlier, will that disqualify
Yes.
an applicant from a driver's license?
yes.
So that is not like that is not the crime against property.
But crime against person, because they said it was crimes against property
crime against-
and person.
You know, apparently your LTO people, Madam Chair, cannot also give us direct answers. Now, I join Senator Recto's proposition that why don't you suspend this and review it again, because you're affecting the very small people that are trying to earn a livelihood and
will suspend
unfairly
it and study
affected
it, or you will study
by
it
such
first?
arbitrary decisions of the bureaucrats.
Ano?
Kung pwede, pag-isipan nila muna na mabuti. Let them
Actually-
list down which crimes will deprive
Yes.
a person to get the driver's license, if at all.
We can imagine if
Para maliwanag.
a crime of a homicide arising from reckless imprudence we can understand that such would deprive the applicant of the
They
ability.
can actually, yes, they can actually issue the guidelines which crimes will be covered.
Not
by
only that,
this.
Madam Chair, the dependency of the criminal proceedings should not automatically disqualify one because there is a presumption of innocence. Mahirap naman yung nasampahan ka ng kaso, hindi ka na pwedeng maghanap buhay bilang isang driver.
So, according to the DOTC, they will study, based on your suggestion, the administrative policy that they had come up with 2 months ago.
May I join the call of Senator Recto that we first suspend this while we are studying
Are
it.
you
We do not
going to
lose
suspend
anything.
it? Are you going to suspend it? They have no choice but to listen to you because their budget will be suspended if this is not suspended.
No, we are not doing this out of,
really?
you know,
Okay.
of
So
whim.
you will suspend it? They, yes, according to Secretary Abaya, the LTO policy of having both licenses as a requirement will be suspended for the meantime until such study and coordination will be done with the police and with the NBI for a more efficient coordination regarding this. And they will come up with guidelines on what pending crimes will be included.
Okay, thank you very much. Senator Recto, thank
Yes,
you.
no further questions. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, any other question? There being none, the budget
Ayan,
of the
natapos
Department
din.
of Transportation and Communication will be submitted to the plenary for consideration. 1 minute suspension.